Hey YouTube, this is Southern Purple One. It is a sad day after finding out yesterday that the French were attacked in their city by the use of a very large truck. The death toll is very high, and it's sad. It seems like it's a recurring thing. You never know when you turn the TV on or look at your phone and news alert. We have a lot of problems to deal with. I'm definitely not a Democrat for many reasons. But I know I have Democrats that subscribe to my channels. I've talked to a few. So we're going to have a lot of things that we can't agree on. But let's agree on one thing. And I'm probably not going to convince you not to vote for Hillary. It probably is not going to work. But let's do this. Her plans to import or to bring in Muslims, and the numbers are unbelievably high. It could be, in her first term, almost 1 million. There's many reasons where I don't agree with this. First of all, we don't have jobs for those people, and they immediately go on welfare, and it costs us money. We're broke. Secondly, there's really no good vetting process for them. Terrorists can slip through the crack. And another reason is, I got a briefing right after 9/11. This briefing was while I was outside the United States, that's what I'll tell you. It was an awesome briefing. I wish I would have videotaped it, but I know they wouldn't let me. They point blank told us, it was a captain giving the briefing, that he said in our dealings with the Iraqis and the Muslims, that they are allowed by their Quran, and not even allowed, they're mandated, if it's in the benefit of them or Islam, that they should lie to us. It's nothing bad about lying to an infidel, and they definitely consider us infidels. So when you dealt with them, you had to have that in the back of your mind, because whatever they say, they could lie to you. So if they come across the border and they get vetted and they say, no, I'm not a terrorist, it may be a little bit more different than they're not going to say I'm a terrorist. They can lie to the people vetting them. They're supposed to lie if it benefits their cause. It's in the Quran. Also in the Quran, it's very clear that if we're an infidel, we either have to pay them a tax or we get killed if we don't want to convert and pay the tax. This is in the Quran. Now, you're not going to hear this on the news. The Democratic Party, with their huge policy of importing more Muslims, are not going to tell you this. This is fact. This is not Dave. I'm going to make some stuff up so I can do a YouTube video. Islam is a political system, and it is a religious system, all wrapped up in one with Sharia law. If you want to see what our country is going to look like, go and find YouTube videos on Dearborn, Michigan, in that area up there. If you haven't done research on the Muslims, you need to. Now you could say, oh Dave, you're a racist, you hate the Muslims. No, I hate any group of people that believe, and it's not radical Muslims. If you're a Muslim and you believe the Quran, and you're a practicing Muslim, I am an infidel, I deserve to die. If you don't think I'm telling the truth, you get a Quran, go to your public library, don't buy one, don't support that thing, and you start reading it. It is very militant, it's very violent in sections. You know, my Bible says love one another. Their Bible or their Quran says something a little bit different. So I'm going to talk to just my Democratic friends. If you're still going to vote for Hillary Clinton, wanting to bring in hundreds of thousands and almost close to 1 million in her first term, do me a favor. Write her a letter, call the Democratic Party. We need to change this policy. They need to understand that we don't want more of them here. Because if you're a true Muslim, you hate me, you hate Christianity, you hate the West. There's no debating it. It is crystal clear. But there is a conspiracy by our government, no doubt about it, to sugarcoat the Muslim religion and Islam. There's nothing to sugarcoat. They will strap a bomb to them. They will walk into a school. They will drive a big truck into people. They will kill people with guns. They will kill people with knives. So, please, if you're going to vote for Hillary, you need to wash your hands. And I don't think you can with just simply telling her not to import the Muslims. I don't think you can. But maybe they'll change their policy. And I'm also dreaming, because they're not going to change their policy. You might say, well, there's tons of Muslims that are good, that won't kill us. If they're a true Muslim and believe the Quran, that's very contradictory. Another thing, though, by bringing over millions more Muslims, we create a bigger infrastructure where the bad ones can hide. We can't find them as easily. They get more protection. It might not be a purposeful protection of other Muslims protecting them. It's just a sheer mass of people. They can slip through the cracks. It's a lot harder for the FBI and law enforcement to find out who they are, because I got to investigate hundreds of thousands of more when they have a problem. So, should we cut out Muslims coming to this country? Yes, they don't have a constitutional right to come. I heard that on the news. If you're not an American, I will give you you have some basic human rights, but you don't have constitutional rights. And we have the right to close the borders to immigration, to green cards. We should close our border on the Mexican side and the Canadian side, because we don't want anyone slipping across. And borders define you as a sovereign country. Without borders, you're not a sovereign country. If anybody can walk across. So I have not really spoke out against Islam. But if you do some research, their greatest reward is to become a martyr. So for them to strap a bomb and walk into your son's school, your daughter's school, into the third grade class, into the kindergarten class, into the high school chemistry class, and detonate a bomb or shoot the class up, to them, that is a high honor. They are a martyr for the cause. We have major problems in this country. This country is not what it was even 50 years ago. I haven't talked about Muslim and Islam a lot. They are a direct threat against the security and safety of you, your community, and the United States. So, I'm not saying to go out and be violent against Muslims. I'm saying we got to change our policies, and we got to do whatever it takes to change those policies by voting in people, voting out people. I've had a couple good talks in the last 5-6 days with some new people that live in my community. They're mad, they're upset. I'm finding out there's other groups out there, be it prepper groups, be it constitutional groups. And the problem what I'm seeing is we're all too secret. I didn't even know these existed, and there's one a few miles from me one direction and one a few miles from me another direction. We need to stop being scared of being on a list. We need to unite. We need to overload their systems. A million patriots tomorrow need to stand up. It will overload their system to keep track of us. And if you don't think they know who you are by your purchases you make, the associations you do with different organizations, you're kidding yourself. They know you. They have supercomputers that can track everything you're doing. So you're already on a list. You just don't think you're on a list. So I'm mulling the idea out. I'm going to go talk to my sheriff. He just got reelected. We need to get organized. The term militia, yeah, I didn't like it. But you know what? It's in my Constitution. It's in there. The militia is a wonderful thing when it's a community militia. If I have a problem in my community, I don't want outsiders coming in. If you have a group of people, stay in your community and help me that way. Because I want to know the people in my community, we know, we trust, we can verify who you are. We need to cut all this secret crap out. Yeah, I got a group of 10 guys we trained. Yeah, you're a few miles from me. In an emergency, we could have friendly fire incidents or bad planning, not even knowing you're there. If we have a natural disaster, I don't know you're there, we're not going to be effective in helping our community. That's all it is about community. Things that are right in your community, things that are wrong in your community. You need to step up. If they're good, tell people the good that's going on in your community. If they're bad, be it whatever it is, from bad police, bad politics, bad whatever, say something about it. Too many people I talk to are scared. I'm sure glad the guys at Lexington and Concord were not scared. I am glad the guys at Valley Forge were not scared. If you're an American, you shouldn't be scared. You should be empowered by the men and women that have gone before us. That did not think of themselves. They thought of a better America. And the early ones, they didn't even have anything to look back on. The guys at Lexington and Concord, but they were looking forward. So we need to draw strength from looking backwards of all the patriots, all the good men and women that sacrificed everything for us. And then we need to look forward to our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren. Because right now we have nothing to give them. We have failed them. Is it this generation that failed them? Was it the last generation that failed them? I don't care who failed. Somewhere along the line, we have totally failed the concepts that our founders have given us. They gave those concepts, those ideas, those principles, and they sealed them with their blood. They sealed them with everything they had. Is there any more men and women left that will take a stand? The stand against progressivism, socialism, communism, and then just take a stand for what is right, what is morally right. The lifestyles our government is ordaining is going to bring the judgment of God on us, and this is part of the judgment of God. You might not believe in the Bible. The Bible is pretty clear. If you honor some basic biblical principles, you will be blessed. If you don't, you will be judged. We deserve to be judged. There's many issues. If you don't believe the Bible, maybe you just believe in some solid principles. Maybe just the 10 Commandments. I hope we can agree. You're not supposed to kill. You're not supposed to kill your neighbor. You're not supposed to steal from your neighbor. Some basic principles. We're way off on those. The government ordains homosexuality. If you look in the Bible, God abhors it. But our government promotes it over things that are good. Is there any men and women out there that are ready to take a stand. We need to rely on that strength that we look back on the men and women that have gone before us. We need to look forward to our grandchildren and draw off the strength of future generations that we can give them. And then we need to draw the most important thing is spiritual. This is also a spiritual battle. We are in a spiritual battle of right and wrong, good and evil, Christian, anti-Christian. If you're an atheist and you watch my channel, if you don't believe in God, if you don't believe in anything, please comment, but don't be rude. I would never insult whatever you believe. We need to stand up. The secret crap stuff needs to end. We need to step out into the light and tell the American government that, hey, we're not the bad guys. If you're a right-wing Christian homeschooler, prepper, they look at you with more hate than they look at Muslims that would love to kill us. And that is just fact. So my Democratic friends, if you're going to vote for Hillary and you're going to vote for almost 1 million more Muslims coming into this country, if you want even a half a chance to wash your hands of the blood that they will be committing to innocent Americans, you better try to change that policy. Or better yet, don't vote for. Thanks for watching.